All right, guys, so we'll do a quick example. The last video I did on the hips, on the curves, different arcs they have on the curves. I'm just going to go into more in-depth example of what I did. So we'll do a breathing idle and a very quick one just to show how you can get the body moving, and then you can start layering on top by using animation layers, which there's plenty of videos on YouTube that show how to use good videos on how to use animation layers. But this is just a base, so you can get this breathing exercise. So I'm just going to show you how you can quickly get some movement for a normal idle, and then you can refine the animation layer. But this is just to get the base animation down here. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is I've done the curves. So we've got this curve here, the figure eight. So all we're going to do, we're going to copy this onto, so we select the sphere, and I got 40 frames there. We'll copy it, and we'll select the hips. All right, let me just select the controls and move this to 0, this key. All right, select the hips and paste. Okay, so we've got some movement happening in there. Now, obviously it's not what we're looking for. So what we can do is we can get the graph editor here. I'll just have the graph editor here, and then let's select the hips, as you can see here. So while we'll just cycle this as well, because you might want to offset here and there. But what we'll do, all we're doing here now is we're just scaling. So I'll select all the keys, put your cursor in the middle, and just scale. Scale upward with the middle mouse button. As you can see, you're starting to get a bit more movement. And then you can, while having everything selected, press translate, and you can kind of move it down. So this is the good power of Maya, that you can see it in real time. And then go to your back and forth, forward and back. Again, select everything, go to, don't scale it from the top, scale it from the middle. We scale it from the top here. If I do it from here, look, it's going to do it from that point, but we want it equally on both directions. So if we look at that, you can see that's pretty exaggerated, right? The legs are straightening, so we can just lower that slightly. So I'm going to over exaggerate this just for the example's sake. So if we go back here to translate, just lower that a bit. Okay, so we've got it a bit lowered. All right, so we've got that working in the hips. Now what we want to do is we basically want to copy that to the rotation of the torso. So here, here, and here, the three. And then you've got these neck controls as well. So what we can do, simple terms, what we'll do is, let's get the rotation, translation. So we'll copy all of these. So we go to edit, copy. Okay, so then we select all of these controls from the bottom up. So we've got the hips, middle, shoulders, first part of the neck, second part, and then the head. Okay, now we'll key at the start, and then all we do is go to the X axis. Actually, let's have a look at the neck. The neck might be different. Yeah, the neck is, okay, the neck is different. So what we'll do, we'll select the lower spine, middle, and just the shoulders, yeah? And we'll do, these are going to be an X. So all we're doing here, we've got editing and pasting. That's all we're doing. And as you can see, there's movement there already, right? Going forward, back. And then what we'll do with the neck and then the head, same thing, we'll go to 0, but it's going to be in, excuse me, it's going to be in the Z. I think the head is in the Z as well. Let me check. No, the head is. Okay, so we're going to select the neck. Leave the head for now. Select the neck and then paste. See, you've got movement in that as well. Now the head is, as you can see, when you go to the channel box here, you can check the axes. If you select these channels, you can see which one's where. So Z, so we know X, so we know there, right? So you go to 0, paste. So we got that. All right, now what we want to do, let's just select the top bit here And let's just cycle this. Cycle all those. Doesn't matter. Select all the controls. It's all right. All right. So everything's cycled now. So everything's like moving together at the same time, as you can see. So what I'll do, you know what? Let me just make this Maya a bit smaller here and put the channel box here. All right. So we've got that. Okay. So we've got that working. Let's put this here. Okay, so we've got that working. Now, we'll leave... Let me just move this here. Okay, so we've got that working. Now what we'll do, we could even, so if we delete the keys on the rotation of hips and paste here as well. Yeah, so we've got a rotation happening on the hips as well, right? Now what we can do, we can get the second part of the hips and then offset that by 1 because we want a delay now, right? And then this one, we can offset that by 2. 1, 2. You'd have to, you can just select this axis if you want. You can move the other keys, so it doesn't matter. This one, 2. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then there's a little bit of offset there, but then you might want to move this a bit more. And then you might want to also, you see it moving, you might want to scale it a bit, exaggerate the upper torso. Even more, like the more you do it, the more exaggerate is better because then you can always tone it down. But you know, you could see he's breathing there, right? And then you might want to, what you could do is select the bottom one, play it, and scale this up. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Just for example's sake, yeah, we'll leave that because we want to exaggerate. And then now what you can do, because we had this shoulder one offset, what? It's offset what? 4 times. So we'll go to the neck now. We can move this 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the next one we can do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the head 7. Or just move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just have it offset a bit. All right, then you're getting that movement. But what you're finding is a bit. Let's see if we can move this a bit more forward. It's a bit disjointed, right? Because we want, what we'll do, if we delete these all, we've got all of them selected, right? So what we want to do is key the first frame. We go forward, we naturally want the head to go down, right? So let's bring the neck down and then the head. Okay. Let's start with let's work with the neck first. So down and then up. Okay, so let's check this out. So if we cycle this, okay, let's cycle this. And let's match these tangents. Okay, let's have a look how this is playing. Let's just overshoot these slightly. Let's just see how it plays. Okay, let's get rid of the rotation on the head. Let's have a look. All right, so this, let's move. Let's get the controls on the top here. Let's just move this up. Let's play around. Okay, maybe we need to just move this in the middle. So let's try this on 20. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. So what we can do, let's just check this out. Let's rotate this down. Okay, so it's coming down and then up, and then maybe up. Let's see. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so this is sometimes just got to experiment around, see what works. Might want to bring this back a bit. Let's see how this is. Okay, now what you can do is you can select the first spline, move that 7 frames, and then move this forward. So you're going to get a bit of an overlap. So you're getting that bit of an overlap, right? If you look at the controls there, you can see you might want to move that back a bit. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? And then what we can do, you can just try and match the tangents. So if you get that one, try and match the tangents on here. And then you can start working on the head. All right, so you've got that. So the head you could keep the head up a bit there first. And then it comes down. And then copy that first frame to the end. Right, you're getting that kind of exaggeration. Or what you can do is select everything, move it up. And then in the lower bit, when it comes down, actually that's all right there, but I think it comes down a bit too much. So we can just, so we cycle this as well. Okay, and then we can move this along the line. And you're just trying to get a kind of a delayed overlap. In the middle. And you're just playing around. That's all you're doing. You're just playing around. And then maybe this is a bit more delayed. You can just play around with the. So there, you see, you got a bit of it happening there. And then what you can do, you can just to add a bit more to it, you can close the teeth and copy that to the end pose. As it comes down, just open the teeth, so it's like it's just like it's breathing, right? And then you can just lower that so it's not too much. Now you've got that basis going. You've got a good basis there for the breathing. You got a good movement, good foundation, right? Now what you can do, you can get, for example, you could get any control. So let's take we'll go back to the hips again, right? Because that was the main. And then what you can do, you can copy this and then work on the shoulder. So the shoulder would be, so we look at the shoulder here. And if we check out, where'd it go? Graph edit, one here. So if we go to, we know we could have we could go on the x-axis. So if we key that, so let's go to key and then paste. We should see some movement. And if we cycle that, again, scaling up. You can keep scaling up. There's a bit of movement there, right? You can see it. Okay. And then what you can do is, once you've got that movement happening, again, remember, top down, select the three controls there, key them, check the axes out. What axes are we looking at here? This is Y, Y, and Y there, yeah? So just check that, and then we can go to Y, rotate Y, rotate Y, and then we can edit, paste, cycle, and you can see there, like, you can see the movement, right? There's a movement there. And then what you do is you go into the top again, offset by 1, offset the next one, the forearm by 1, 2, offset the next one, 1, 2, 3. Now you start to see there's a little bit of looseness, and if you're not getting that much looseness, go back in, offset it by another frame, offset the wrist. Always offset the next one as well, because then it will keep that offset right from down the hierarchy. All right, now what you can do while it's playing, again, you can start scaling. Same thing, scale up. So you see you're getting more of a movement in the forearms. Scale up more. You're getting more movement there. So we'll just exaggerate for the example's sake. Same with the wrist. So we play it. And there you see you're getting it there. You just exaggerate that more. And you're starting to loosen up the arm. You can see that, right? And then you know what? Maybe we could also do it for the upper arm. So we come back here. Ooh, scale. Select everything. Scale at the point of origin, 0 there. Yeah, this is, so yeah, you can see that moving. And you may want to do the shoulder as well, because, you know, you don't want the shoulder. The shoulder's not gonna, okay, that's a bit too much. But that's obviously for example's sake. We're just showing that. And the same thing on the other side. If you look at the other side, it's Y, 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 right? So the shoulder is X. Okay, so let's see if we can copy this. Will it be true on the other side? I don't know. I don't think so, but let's see. Paste. Yeah, because it's opposite, what we'll have to do is basically scale the other way around like that, right? And then I'll just cycle that. Same thing with, so you're selecting the controls again, keying, and then you're going to go to Y, 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 edit, paste, cycle. Same thing on the other side, nothing different, right? And then you can see it there. And we can get all of these. Maybe this has to be scaled the other way. Like that. Yeah, that's it. But if you look where it's very exaggerated, right? So we'll just scale that down. So there, you've got a, and then same thing, all you do is a matter of 1, what's this? This one was 2, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3. We had it at 3 the last one, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And then, of course, you can always exaggerate. So we come here, exaggerate this. Just for example's sake, get the second control, exaggerate that a bit more. And of course the third, exaggerate that. The wrist. And now what you can do is, because as you can see, both arms are moving at the same time, it's not that organic. So if you select the shoulder on the right or left, whichever ones you want to do, I'm going to do it on here because I'm on this side. And all you're doing is just selecting everything which has already been offset, just select everything and move it. So if you play it and then move it 2 frames, maybe even more. There, you can see there's an offset there, right? One's coming. You can do it a bit more. 1 1, 2 2, 3 3. So there's a bit of an offset there, so it's a bit more organic, right? So that's it in a nutshell. That's how you can quickly get a kind of a breathing animation going, and then you can just go into the controls and tone them down however you want, whatever suits you. So that's just a quick way of how I wanted to show you how you can get this ball, these arcs, on the previous video that I showed you about the arcs, how you can relate that to the body and how really you can simplify it. You know, you don't have to overly think these. Keep the arcs nice and clean. Here you can see there's only eight keyframes there, right? What? 1, 2, there should be one here too. Let's put one here. There's 8 keyframes there, and you've got such a smooth arc. And then you can do all kinds, you know, then you can just come in here. Then you can just like go, all right, same thing with the hips, right? You got this. Okay, do you want it not to be so wide, so up and down? You can have it thin. So what do? You just select everything in here. As you scale it, watch, the curve will scale. See? So you can get cool arcs like that, going more, you know, combat driven rather than relaxed. So yeah, so that's what I want to show you in a nutshell, guys. I know the previous video was I went over it quickly and I should have taken a bit more time, but this is just the procedure that I go through. You know, every animator is different, you know, they've got their own methods. But this helps me keep smooth arcs and keeps the hips nice and smooth. And you'll find it common with these arcs. There's a few arcs that you'll decide to use that are just, you know, that work for you. All right, guys. So thank you, and thank you for your support. And if you found this video useful, please like, because it will help the algorithms. It's really helping a lot. And you can check out, you know, t-shirts and merch and stuff like that in the description to support the channel. Fitness update again, I know I keep saying it, but I have to stay accountable. It's coming. So in the meantime, happy animating, enjoy animating, and most importantly, stay healthy and get those steps in.